Welcome back to the Pit Check, everybody. I hope you like your metal and hardcore music just gritty and raw as hell, because this week is a massive return to that early days of extreme metal sound. The youth yearn for the pre-social media influenced music. We've got 90s death metal, we've got 80s hardcore punk, we've got 2000s Myspace metalcore, and just so much more. This is a packed episode, so let's just get right into my recommendations and reviews for the best new albums that came out this week. Your favorite band's favorite bands. The legendary OG metalcore band Zao is back with this incredible tribute EP, Pillars. It's always so cool to see a band that has been such an inspiration to so many other bands show off the bands that inspired them, deliberately saying thank you to their personal, quote, Western Pennsylvania Big Four, which are Abnegation, Puritan, Passover, and Creation is Crucifixion. I'm just going to quote them directly here because this was really cool to see them reflect like this, and vocalist Dan Wayant put it so much better than I ever could. These four bands/songs influenced us in ways that run deeper than I can fully explain. The riffs, the rhythms, the way the songs were built, the urgency and style of the vocals, the conviction and chaos on stage, so much of what found its way into us all started here with them. They were the pillars of a scene that felt like a lightning strike in the mid to late 90s, something very rare and powerful that formed in our area and changed the course of our lives. That scene didn't just inspire us, it also brought us all together. Without it, and without these bands, without these songs, there would never have been the Blood and Fire era of Zao, or anything from us that followed. So this is our small way of saying thank you, of stepping back into these songs for a moment, of honoring the foundation. Ted Bundy death metal. The Mindhunters of brutal death metal, Monument of Misanthropy, have released their latest album, Washington State Charm. This is some speedy and hard-hitting brutal death metal that has a focus on this hyper-impressive guitar work and melodies, which you're gonna love if you're a fan of bands like Aborted, Necrophagist, Obscura, Morbid Angel, or Nile. Much like their previous album, which told the life story of infamous large man Ed Kemper, this album instead follows the notorious college counselor Ted Bundy, with the band saying this is, quote, a wholesome little concept album, chronicling the coming-of-age story of a serial killer, the awkward upbringing, the early extracurricular activities, and the grand finale on the electric chair. Beyond the whole mass murderer theming, this album is actually really fucking sick instrumentally. It doesn't use the Ted Bundy thing as a crutch just to be edgy. Instead, they also use it as a way to give a good, narrative focus to the brutality of the album. And it's a whopping 13 tracks that have no shortage of technical riffs and demon vocals. Hardcore surf punk. The Southern California hardcore punk band Repeat Offender has released their debut album, Weapon Fetish. This thing is fucking awesome, dude. I love it. It's like ripping an 8-ball at the beach. It's so up-tempo with so much driving energy while being so groovy and dancey and fun. And with some of the most infectious bass lines of the year. This is such a welcome return to that lo-fi anthemic 80s hardcore punk. Lace up those shoes because these riffs are so catchy and classic and kind of feel good. It's like a siren song to start two-stepping no matter where you are. But with this like brutally savage vocalist that is sort of at odds to the more melodic and bass-forward sound, but in a way that I absolutely love. It's like a beatdown hardcore band got trapped in a time machine. Beatdown hardcore has gone worldwide. Doorway into Hell is a, quote, hard music international four-way split showcasing bands from Singapore, Italy, and the USA. First up, we have the Singapore-based beatdown hardcore band Angulimala, hopefully I'm saying that right. This is some tough as nails G-Unit beatdown. They've got a great blend of metallic hardcore riffs, non-stop double bass runs, and absolutely vicious breakdowns. But with this almost inherent swagger and rhythm that always transitions perfectly from one passage to the next. Very impressed with these guys. Next up, we've got Catch My Fist, Fist My Bump. This is a San Fernando, California-based beatdown hardcore band that leans much more into that kind of shit-talking hardcore, like when you incorporate hip-hop and rap elements alongside the bouncy rhythmic riffs, and basically call the audience a pussy and challenge them to fight you, and then hit these ridiculously heavy down-tempo breakdowns. Then we've got the aptly titled band, Terrorist. This is some Northern Italy brutality. Real talk, I was blown the fuck away by this band. Maybe it's my own Italian heritage, but I was activated like a fucking sleeper agent from the very first riff. There's all these super dark melodies and riffs, and even doing some like tremolos to add this absolutely evil atmosphere to an already perpetual curb stomp of a sound. This is like a Cenobite in music form. And to close out the album, we've got Grounds for Assault. This is a California-based beatdown band, or as they say on their Spotify, murder music, street sludge, brutal beatdown death. And yeah, I'd say that accurately sums it up. It's just disgustingly grimy in the best way possible. If you like the show, don't forget to like the video, send it to your friends, subscribe, all of those things. It really means a lot. Thank you so much. Jakarta Straight Edge. The Indonesian metalcore band Ezalor has released their debut album, Verses Beneath a Dying Sky. Dude, this is like finding a lost LP from 2004 in a salt mine. This has such a raw and genuine sound and is just oozing with creativity and passion from every pore. The melodies on this album are unbelievable. The guitars are putting such a fresh spin on that 90s At the Gates inspired technical riffing, instead of just copy-pasting riffs from Count Your Blessings like a lot of the other revivalcore bands do. And these riffs are utilized perfectly to match the sheer bleeding heart emotion from the vocalist. Where I think this band truly shines, though, are these really unique rhythms and patterns that they use throughout the album. Where a lot of bands in the genre stick to the rigid 16th note breakdowns, and I do love those, this band blends in a lot more like triplet patterns and alternating rhythms, which give it a really bouncy, almost effortless flow. It's really cool, I like it a lot. And some of these transitions are fucking phenomenal. This is the exact opposite of a band that just strings together cool part after cool part. Extremely impressed by this one. Dairyland Destruction. The Wisconsin-based deathcore and extreme metalcore band Dead Awake is back with this genre-defying album, Melancholia 2. This is a straight-up wall of violence. The overall sound of this album, especially this guitar tone, is just overwhelming. It's like their riffs are just trying to swallow you whole. I also really like the hodgepodge of different genres and influences that are all, blended up together here. We've got this visceral and menacing deathcore, but with some metalcore song structures and hooks, and even some sporadic clean choruses, but with the addition of some slam and brutal death metal elements that I think put this album really over the top for me. The blast beats, the gutturals and pig squeals, and the relentless brutality really just tickle my fancy. I also like how this album starts in this very destructive and punishing space, but as the album goes on, things open up more and get surprisingly emotional and atmospheric, giving a justification to the anger. And at 10 tracks, there is plenty to sink your teeth into. Highly recommended. Here are 4 new Myspace metalcore bands that you'll want in your top 8. First up is Disastry, who just released their debut EP, Cielo Debería Estar Aquí. This is some tasty new Northern Colorado metalcore. It's got a lot of those hard mosh meets melodic emo vibes, tons of great riffs, and even a solid amount of sasscore and spoken word, sort of like Drop Dead Gorgeous meets You Space Cowboy. Then we've got Forever Came Crashing with their new EP, Cursed to Forgive. This one has tons of those post-hardcore screamo melodic guitars and 16th note breakdowns with this authentic, raw, and kind of biting edge to it that I really like. And the guitarists are hitting some really impressive, creative, and catchy riffing with some, panic chords and screeching, and really just impressive instrumentals all around. Next up, we've got Bailed Out with their EP, To Be Plagued by Your Antics. This is some absolutely feral Leeds UK based heavy hardcore and metalcore. I mean shit, there's even some like Myspace deathcore mixed into this one. I'm obviously biased because I love when bands get disgustingly heavy, and this one does so in spades. With wave after wave of chuggy breakdowns and even gutturals and pig squeals, these dudes are unafraid to lean into the sheer savage brutality of the genre. And finally, Mayesta put out their new EP, What the Angel Told Us. Madrid edge metal. This has that really fucking awesome 8000 Eurocore metallic hardcore meets OG metalcore sound, non-stop pummeling technical yet abrasive guitar riffs, and this cutting rusty blade sound that absolutely leaves its mark. Extremely impressed by these guys. And since we've been chilling in the hard corner for so long, and last week you guys seemed to really like the death corner, let's do it again. Let's check out the death corner. Here are 4 new deathcore EPs that'll liquefy your bones. The Philadelphia mosh metal band Whole World Wept has released their latest EP, God's Waiting Room. These dudes are visceral devastation. There is so much good variety, especially between the vocals and the riffs. Sometimes they're hitting these like tough as nails beatdown vibes, and other times it's more slamming brutal death metal vibes, and other times it's just nasty guttural deathcore. And this is somehow their 3rd EP so far this year. Like, they literally cannot stop releasing heaters. They can't keep getting away with this. The Myspace deathcore band Return to Glory has put out their latest EP, Ravage of Humanity. This is some really melodic yet brutal early to mid 2000s deathcore. It's got that messy, low-tuned aggression, but with tons of blasting riffs and slams and polar ice cap melting breakdowns. I also like how, even though it does have these absurd bass drops, the actual recording of the album is very textured and has like a live feel to it instead of an overproduced snap to the grid feel. Very authentic. The German black and deathcore band Loather has released their latest EP, Limbo 2, Visions of a Fallen Angel Banished by God. So I think I love this band. The blackened elements and the progressive song structures and the eerie melodies and harmonies are all done to absolute perfection. These 3 songs are dense. If you're tired of blackened deathcore all being Lorna Shore clones, absolutely check out this band. This is good shit. And finally, the doomy deathcore band Rats in Paradise have put out their latest EP, The Brown Chapter. This is some down-tempo slamming brutality. I love how thick and syrupy these riffs are. This is like moshing in the La Brea tar pits. This EP is filthy, which I guess is why these rats are in paradise. And here are all of the albums and demos released this week. Insane stuff as always. So many EPs and demos. Actually, there was not that many full albums this week. So Lots and lots to pick from. Like last week, you can hit this one tapas style. So feel free to screenshot here and, take your picks. As always, make sure to comment down below if there's anything you liked in particular, anything you hated, anything that should be on my radar, or DM me, you know the drill. Love you guys, and I'll catch you next week for more of the best new music to hit the scene.